don't know about you guys, but I do not have the patience to wait for that timer to go off, especially since I'm seeing that all of my faves are here. Not that I have favorites, but you know what I mean. Welcome to my van. If you haven't been in here yet, it's a little messy, but she does good for us. She's a lot of room. Hi, Donna. Can everybody hear me okay? I know I have this big steering wheel in the way. That's okay. I'll be honest with you guys. Vanessa, it's been rough. It's been and I know it's not just for me, right? But part of me just felt like I just don't want to do this. You know, I don't want to go live. I don't want to do readings. I don't want to, you know what I mean? And I still love it, especially when it comes to my private sessions. And it's not due to my lack of passion or appreciation. It's due to just the energy, right? The energy right now, it's easy to get very exhausted, very drained out. It's coming at us in full force. It's coming at us very intensely. And this feeling of like, man, I'm just tired, dude. I'm tired. Add working overnights and starting a new job to the whole mix. And it just gets a little crazy for me. But then I have these beautiful moments like this where I'm like, I really want to connect. I want to go live. I want to do what I do best. And that's what I'm here for. So guides, angels, ancestors, blood of my blood, bone of my bones, thank you. Those in God's loving light. We honor you, making it possible for me to be here with the luxuries I have, being able to do what I do. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to exist at this time of great transition, although it is not easy, and although we complain and we throw temper tantrums, it's such a beautiful time to be alive, and we thank you for that. Please protect against any distorting energies and or intentions. Please escort them to a place of evolution or dissolution now. Surround us in your white light so that we may deliver, receive, and commune as divinely intended. Please keep me clear. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I know that what I'm saying resonates with you guys because there are 13 of you guys here. I know that that is, for me, validation that you guys are going through it too. So let's find divine perspective together. So you.b. Amen. Let us see. I want to pull some collective cards for us. And then for those of you guys that are interested in a more in-depth reading, cup of tea with $3 worth of sugar and cookies. It's a fun name. For those of you guys that are interested in a more in-depth reading, oh, and he's cute. That information is on the side in the menu. Like a little brunch. Like, think of it as you're coming to brunch with the gals. Guides, angels, ancestors, thank you. What collective energy, what is it that we all have in common that we're all moving through that we could all benefit from channeling, from getting some divine messages about? How are you doing? How are we? Talk to me, guys. I want to hear from you too. Vanessa, how are you? Donna, how are you? Chanel, how are you? I'm going to stick with 3 cards, and then we'll do a postcard from Spirit, and then we'll move from there. Yeah, I get that. That's literally what I've been talking about. Like, this tired energy, this feeling of, like, I'm just exhausted, dude. I can't do this. But you can. And it's only hard for you. Donna, we're happy to have you, love. Just so you guys know, I don't do free readings. If you're here and you can't afford to, or you don't even feel like donating or paying for one of the services, trust and believe that you were guided here for a reason, and you're going to receive a message through somebody else's reading or through the conversations that are being had. Yeah? Ooh. Remain in faith. Thank you, Spirit. We're so very thankful. Thank you. Okay, now we're working here. Okay, so we have the princess, which is like the page of discs. We also have the knight of wands. Okay, and we also have, so the feminine within us, right? The right now is not necessarily a time of doing. Now, don't get that twisted. Say you had something in the works for a long time, and you're trying to bring it to fruition, or you're executing a plan to bring it into fruition. Trust your higher calling, trust your intuition, but for the most part, for the majority of the collective, there's an energy within the masculine that wants us to move, to do things, to activate, to work, right? But the feminine isn't all the way there. The feminine is still coming up with the game plan, or not even that. The feminine, what I mean by this is, I'm not talking about men and women. I'm talking about within you, the part of you that is receiving, intuition, spiritual. This is why they call it a woman's intuition, because it is directly associated with the feminine, right? It's the all-knowingness, it's the beingness of who you be, right? And the masculine is the intellect, the part of you that has been developed through this life and can execute a plan, savings and building and moving towards goals and all of this other stuff, right? There's a time and a place and a season for everything. So right now, are you feeling anxious? Ask yourself. It doesn't necessarily need to mean that I'm right. I don't need to be right. Right? I'm just going with what's being delivered, and I'm honoring the divine in this. Where is it that you feel like you have to rush to make a decision, or that you're going to miss the boat, or that there's some kind of urgency that is coming from a place of lack, right? And in reality, your feminine, the divine in you has a plan, already has a plan, doesn't need to calculate a plan, right? But the plan involves you being. Right now is about you being. We have the Eight of Cups, abandoned success, right? The devil wants you to run and abandon this success because of antsiness. The devil wants you to run away, right? When in reality, in all actuality, it's about the beingness. It's about mastering how to be with yourself right now. How do I sit with myself? How do I meditate? How do I allow myself to be at peace and at ease with what already is, rather than trying to chase something else, rather than trying to get something else to come into fruition? That's not the point. And in fact, that's only going to bring the worst out of you right now. Let's pull a postcard from Spirit. Thank you. Excuse me. Dearest you, did you know that when you stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right now, miracles start to happen? There is a freedom in this kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations and see things as they really are. Not how you'd like them to be. You'll be surprised at how everything seems to fall into place. When you refuse to accept things, life gets messy, you act messy, and your world stays in chaos, tension, and disarray. But don't try to force or change or manipulate circumstances. Instead, learn about what is in front of you and face it with your eyes fully open. Then you can decide, stay or go, sink or swim, move or stay still. Acceptance is key to freedom and opens the doors to the real opportunities waiting to be discovered. Set yourself and others free. Loving you so much, always and forever. You guys know, and this is not just for me, this is for all of you, but I'll speak for myself. You guys know that I have struggled with burnout when it comes to lives and doing readings and all of this other stuff that is involved when it comes to this business. The past couple of weeks, ever since I got here and I started working, and I stopped giving as much, meaning I stopped coming on and giving everybody free readings and, and just doing the most for just to get by. Thank you, Dawn. Um, I felt uncomfortable because I was like, dude, like, I'm doing this job, I'm working, I'm not showing up, right? Because I wasn't giving so much. I felt like, well, who am I to try to go on and connect in the way that I have been, right? I felt like I was betraying all of you or anybody who resonates with me or who has been coming on live with me, right? And I know sometimes it's not always fun to listen to the psychobabble of an intuitive, but it's important in this message for you all. Where is it that you cannot be at peace with what it is that you can do? Where is it that you're beating yourself up for where you literally cannot do more? Where you are stuck between a rock and a hard place now that you don't have power, but it just isn't in your power in that moment or in this moment to be able to take care of this person's needs, Bob's, Mary's, Sue Ellen, and Pepper. None of them are getting what they desire from you. Or from your perspective, you feel like you're not giving them enough as friends, as family, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because you're used to, especially if you're communicating and connecting to me, you're used to it. You're used to being the person who gives and gives and gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. And then you have this relationship with yourself where you constantly feel like you're always short, right? This is a deep-rooted thing within the collective, especially within light workers, where the balance between give and receive, right? We're not superheroes, we're super bees, meaning we all pollinate, right? We all go around and pollinate. It's not just my responsibility to heal everyone that comes across my way. I do my part. That's what I'm supposed to do. But wherever it is that I hold expectations of myself for being the sole and primary answer to everybody else's problems, I release that, and I release that now. How about you? What say you? Being weighed down by so much BS. And if you've donated for a reading, let me know. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Just checking my messages here. Danny, are you here? Like, talk to me. Like, do you guys resonate with this? If it's just gonna be me, yeah, it's been interesting to say the least, huh, Chanel? We love the UK here, Dawn. You guys got that Harry Potter magic. Of course. It's a lot right now. And to be honest, like, it's exhausting. I was just talking to Jessica yesterday, and I was like, dude, it's just so exhausting to be aware at all times. To hold a conscious awareness, it is truly exhausting. But it's worth it, because without it, you get lost. Without it, it's an unconscious discomfort. With it, it's a conscious comfort. It's a conscious uncomfort versus an unconscious uncomfort. Would you rather be striving towards having awareness in everything that comes your way, all the wonkiness and the upside down world that we live in with this fucking these governments and these and all everything that's going on? It's all upside down, right? Everything that is being pushed on us is like opposite day, right? So discernment is so important, and the only way we can really stabilize discernment is through conscious awareness, understanding, why am I reacting this way? Where is my pain coming from? Is it my responsibility? Am I lashing out? Am I in response or in reaction, right? These are all things that you would have heard me and Jess talk about a lot, that are the fundamental elements to this work, to even being able to have a spiritual dialogue, or just to navigate awakening. It's beautiful to hear from the spirits, and I love doing it. I love divination, I love card reading, and I love tarot. It's a beautiful tool for awakening, but it's the experience that I feel like so many people are addicted to, which is like this mystical experience where somebody's telling me about myself, something I don't know. But why don't you know it? Right? Because you maybe not asking the right questions. I'm not trying to shame people for needing readings. We all need readings. Even I need readings at times because everything is so chaotic. My mind is chaotic, my body, my spirit. You know what I mean? But I have work and tools and things that I know will work to bring me back to my center, to bring me back to balance. And it forces me to have to do that, to come on live, to do these readings, to connect in all these ways. I have to keep myself balanced. I have to meditate before I come on live. I have to be aware of my intentions. I have to hold that conscious awareness, and it is exhausting. But it doesn't have to be. Not anymore. And the reason it's transitioning from not being exhausting to me anymore is that I'm no longer fighting my circumstances. I'm no longer over here beating myself up for all the ways in which I could be doing better and showing up more, right? All the things that I need to be doing, there's a difference between motivating yourself and just fucking shitting all over yourself. And I feel like this is a collective thing that we're all kind of being forced to look at. So look at your life right now. Where is it that you feel like you're not showing up well? Where is it that you feel like you're failing, where you're not keeping up with your own word? Where is it that you beat yourself up and make yourself feel wrong for it? These are all valuable questions. Questions worth more than their weight in gold. And with that being said, if anybody wants a donated reading, the menu is on the side. Anywhere from $5 to $40. There's an option for $5 for a 1-card oracle reading, which is basically me pulling an oracle card and channeling a message for you through that. Hi, Adrian. Then it's a 1 oracle card. Then it's a past, present, future for $7, a general in-depth for $10, a crossroads decisions for $10, a dream interpretation for $15, a karma reading for $20, an abundance checkup for $25, a relationship reading for $30, an ancestor/mediumship reading for $40. Awesome, Vanessa. Let's get it. I want to pull from the Animal Companion deck. And let's see what you get, darling. We got horse, travel. I don't know where you are in your life right now, Vanessa, but I just got the quick message of like you're about to step into an era of your life where you're really being pushed out of your comfort zone, pushed away from the things that keep you comfortable right now. I even hear some people may perceive it as a betrayal, but let's get into it, okay? Horse, travel. In a reading, horses are a symbol of travel, adventure, and a wandering spirit. The horse may indicate a restless spirit, wanderlust, or the need for a new adventure. The journey that the horse may personify can be literal, across a physical distance, or may be metaphysical. For example, you may find yourself embarking on an internal journey towards self-empowerment, a course of study, a new venture, or a relationship. The horse reminds us of a sacred cycle of life and the value of the journey itself. Try not to focus on the end result to the detriment of the journey. The way in which you get there is often more important than reaching the end. You will experience times of prosperity in life. But remember that pain, illness, loss, and failure are all stops along the way. The spirit of the horse reminds us to carry on and accept all the stations on the wheel of fortune. There are some things we can control or prevent, and others we simply can accept and move through. Vanessa, wherever it is that you're making yourself wrong for things that you coulda, shoulda, woulda, did to prepare yourself for this time, do not do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. You're exactly where you need to be. Your guides are with you. Everybody's with you. Your spiritual growth and expansion is not cheapened because you decided to make different decisions in the past. That was your sovereignty. That was your free will. No one is knocking you for that. But wherever it is that you feel like you missed the boat, wherever it is that you feel like you had all these opportunities to develop and you didn't, wherever you feel like you have signed yourself up for the experience that you're having and that you're just going to have to deal with it, think of it in a different way. I can't change a lot of what's happening, but a lot of what's happening is fuel for the fire that is my spiritual blossoming. Your spiritual evolution is here. It's now. It wasn't then. It's not tomorrow. It's now. And you may even choose to forego it so that you may live with the comforts that you enjoy now. But at the end of the day, you're always going to have the opportunity to continue to ascend. And right now you have that golden opportunity. So beating yourself up for what coulda, shoulda, woulda, not being prepared, being mismanaging your money, not doing things the way you're supposed to do, feeling like a failure, feeling like a fuck up in life, let it go. You're a beautiful human being inside and out. You have a different journey here. You're a black sheep for a reason. And if I have to tell it to you every time you donate for a reading, I will. Because you need to hear it and you need to know it. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just learning. You chose a different course of study than I did, or than this person did, or than that person did. But it doesn't make you wrong. Stop shaming yourself for it. I hope that this is resonating. I hope you understand where this is all coming from. They really needed you to hear that. Right now is a great and beautiful time for you. Don't cheapen it by looking back at the past and thinking about all the ways in which you could have did things better and would have ended up in a better place now. You're in resistance to your present. Accept it. Accept it for what it is and move through it. Ooh. Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? I don't even think I'm saying it right. Okay. Let's get into Adrian. Adrian paid for a $10 general in-depth reading. Okay, so this is what that looks like for those of you guys that are interested. Thank you, Spirit. Please connect into Adrian's energy. Allow her guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages. As they're the ones walking with her, they deserve to be heard. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Avec moi? C'est ça? C'est ça? Adrian. What does Adrian need to hear today? Okay. So the crowning energy of your reading is the Knight of Cups in the reverse, which I do not like. The plans are falling apart. Everything that you... Thank you, Adrian. You're just a wellspring of information. But there's a lot of failure, and not in terms of you, right? There's a lot of failure and breakdown in the world around you. Now, you can be the one to kick someone when they're down I don't know where this is coming from, but they're telling me that there's a lot of people who may have turned against you or may have been really nasty towards you based on your political beliefs that are now coming into some sort of, not a full realization, but a partial realization, so to speak. And Spirit is saying, thank you. My nose itches. They're telling me I'm on the nose. They're saying rather than taking out all of your, they're asking you to release your resentment for those who remained way too comfortable being asleep through all of this. Release your resentment for individuals who slept it out. And now they're coming into the party and they're like, damn, like now I can't avoid it, right? And Spirit is saying, have a little bit of compassion for them. You know what I mean? Like, and let go, because it's not helping you. It's not helping you. Everything that I've been talking about in reference to everything coming back into alignment the way it's supposed to, Canada doing things the way that they're supposed to honor their citizens, they have no choice now. They're getting to a point where they have no choice. Okay? So Spirit is saying, let it be. You know what I mean? Like, you're still mad, and it's like you want your, hi Martha. It's like you want your revenge. Not your revenge. You want your payback. You want your payback, bitch. Excuse my language, but you want your payback. You were like, listen, I had to suffer through all of this, and now you're gonna put everything right. What about the last freaking year and a half, 2 years that you put me through shit? Nobody's gonna. I'm just gonna have to pretend like that. The Spirit is like, take it, because believe it or not, Adrian, even though the last couple of years have been hard, it has been the greatest growth for you because of all of the challenges and tribulations you faced. And it's going to make you prepared for the blessings that are going to require a lot of you, the chaos that is going to come from all of the blessings. And I mean it, chaos. I know that sounds wonky, but it is, right? Because it's not time right now. It's not a time for you to take on more responsibility, and you feeling like you have to be everybody's educator is taking on responsibility. Feeling like you have to be everybody's I told you so is taking on a lot of responsibility. In fact, a lot of people see you in a higher light than you even assume already. And when you do things, and don't take this the wrong way, but when you do things that are ego-based, like, hi Jackie, when you do things that are ego-based, that are like, I knew this so long then, right? I knew this then, and I knew what was going on. There's a part of there's a righteous warrior that is activated in you, and what Spirit is saying is like you're trying to enlist in a war that is already finished. You know what I mean? So like that time is coming past. You've done your social activism thing. You've done your trying to awaken people to the truth thing. You know what I mean? Where now Spirit is saying now it's about what you're passionate about. Now it's about not allowing yourself to be walked all over by everybody in your life the same way you were by the government. The government came along to show you how everybody else is walking all over you in your life. And you slowly and surely have been claiming that respect back. Putting some respect on your motherfucking name, Adrian. Excuse my language. Thank you, Martha. I just feel like mentally you didn't have as much capacity, where now it's like you have all of these ideas, you have all of these things coming in, and it's like you don't know what to do with them. And Spirit is like, just settle into everything that's happened. Find your peace, find your balance, and then the idea and the right thing to do will come forward. You have a lot of creative potential to create something unconventional, and what that means: a book, a story, organization. There's something that you're going to be doing that other people don't have the creativity to make work, but you do. And I've been telling you this for a very long time. You know what I mean? And now it's coming to a point where it's happening. But there's a lot of other questions you need to bring into the picture. You know what I mean? Your relationships, etc. Everything needs to come into question, not for the sake of is this person holding me back, but more of the sake of, am I thriving around these people? Asking yourself new and improved questions, because you have done a lot to get yourself here. It's not like you've been sleeping. You know what I mean? You've been doing everything in your power, even though it hasn't been easy, and even though you haven't been always consistent. You have developed and grown a lot through this process, and therefore newness is just waiting. A new harvest is just waiting, but it's asking you to operate in a way that is more efficient and more thoughtful and aware than what you're used to. Meaning, I'm about to have a dinner date with these people, and these people are it's a lot of small talk, right? Am I going to shrink my energy and let myself bleed out energy in order to keep this energy moving, or do I just pass on this dinner? You know what I mean? What's better for me, right? It's where you put other people's needs and other people's desires and other people's view of you, how people perceive you, this deep uh rooted pain of how you are received and how other people enjoy you, and whether or not people like you. You know what I mean? This deep thing, it's just about ready to be plucked. This deep rooted, and this spirit saying for so many of us, this is like a whole collective thing. For so many of us, it's almost is we're right there at that point where we have the opportunity to fully free ourselves of where we place our worth in others. So for you this is going to be honestly maybe even more challenging in a different way than what you've already been through, because you're being asked to take leaps of faith. You're being asked to cut things out of your life that don't serve. Hi, Wandy. You're being asked to do it in honor of you and everything that you've come to. Now is the time for you to own yourself. And I feel it. I feel your spirit. I feel your energy. You're at the edge and you want to jump, but you're scared. You know what I mean? And you don't need to be. It's a beautiful thing. Coming on here reminds me that there's so many others that have been sent here with a divine mission, and it's not easy for all of us. Wandy, I have to figure out. We have to schedule. I know we have to schedule this week's session, darling. And I think you sent. I literally right before I came live, I noticed that you sent me a voice note, and I don't know if I listened to it. You've been all over the place, darling. Okay. Let's pull a postcard from Spirit for the beautiful and wonderful Adrian. And Adrian, you too, you messaged me on Instagram and I hearted your stuff and I never responded. I'm being a little selfish these days with my time and energy. I'm sorry, Wandy. I'm going to listen to it and I'll get back to you because I know I wanted you to report back to me. Let's see. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Tired of the bullshit. Dearest you, on Earth, humans learn about life by telling stories, creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world. So to get the answer you seek, you must get vulnerable to hear the story when you tell it. Hear that, Adrian. You have to hear the story when you tell it. Ask why you tell it. Is it really true? What can be true? Can you see the truth that Spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit loves stories, for they are like blueprints for co-creation. So tell the ones we know to be true about you, a story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well-being, wisdom, and grace. You will experience the world according to the story you tell about it, so make sure they're stories you're proud of. So you've evolved. Like motherfucking Pokemon, excuse my language, I got a potty mouth today. But just like a Pokemon, you went and evolved. You went and became a bigger Pokemon. Okay, Adrian? And now Spirit is saying to you, look at the stories you're telling. Rather than telling a victimized story about your life, about the world, about governments, about all of the things that they're doing to us, and Spirit is saying, you know better now. Tell a different story. I'm sorry. Hey, not sure what I need. So if you let me know, I will get that to you for one, please. Wait, I'm so confused. What do you mean, Chanel? What do you mean, darling? But Adrian, God bless you, darling. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure watching your journey and being a witness to it and having you along for the ride. It truly has. You've been here for a very long time. So you were with me from the days when I was doing the psychic hotline. That's how you found me. So God bless you. I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. All right, let's get on it. Let's get on it. I'm going to take a second to clear that energy, and then we're going to get into Martha's reading. And for anybody else that wants a reading, now is your time. Jackie, psychic hotlines are great when it comes to growing your gifts. But when it comes to an actual job, they fucking suck. A, they take more than 50% of what you make. B, if you miss a call or something's going on with your internet, they will suspend you. They don't care. And if somebody doesn't like, that's a good idea. Make my own psychic hotline. That's a good idea. But if somebody doesn't like your message, or if it's tough love that they didn't want to receive, or if you're doing what you need to do divinely, and then they get mad about it, then they can go complain to the people, and anyway. It's a whole system where it honors the customer. If the customer doesn't get you to answer the phone like that, you get penalized. If you don't give the reader what they want, the querent what they want, essentially, and they choose to be sour about it, then they can make your life hell and make it impossible for you to make money. This is why I much prefer to dance to the beat of my own drum. But making my own is a good idea. Or even like a social media platform. Uncensored. Keep your big bags of money. The divine has its own checkbook for me. You know what I mean? You feel me? I know it looks really smoky. It's just the sun is hitting right here. Listen, money is a beautiful thing. We don't need to be wonky about money. But people be wonky with money. People be wonky with money. Period. I've been wonky with money in the past. Hi, Nada. People just be wonky. I don't know why I just keep hearing that. People be wonky with money. Okay? Don't be surprised when somebody's out here crying because they dropped a quarter down the sewer grade. Okay? People be wonky with money. Okay? People want to act here surprised when they find out that a mother sold her child for a bag of crack. People be wonky about money. What can I say? You know what I mean? And we have to take responsibility for this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's not funny. I'm just like, that specific example is not funny. It's just absurd, right? Drugs, that's a whole other thing. Spirit is saying that's a whole other thing. That's addiction. Okay. For money, I don't know. People do shit for money. And to be honest, we all kind of fall into this sometimes. We allow ourselves to become slaves to things. We allow ourselves to assign our worth based on how much we're bringing in, how much success we found. It's all fucking ego. And that's what we're tired of. That's the true tiredness. Because we're not able to celebrate the true accomplishments. Maybe I wanted to run 5 miles in 20 minutes. And I don't know if that's possible. But, you know, maybe I'm at a place in my life where financially things are not where I desire them, and I can't even appreciate the fact that I did that. I just ran 5 miles in 20 minutes. It robs us. This has to do with your reading, Martha. There's something about you not being able to fully absorb or appreciate what is here. And I honestly, I'm going to be vulnerable and say that I think that this message, Spirit is being very clear about this message being very, it's going to be mutually beneficial for yourself and for me. We're human. What a joy it is to be human. Hi, Nancy. Nancy, darling. How are you today? Sorry, Martha, I just have to push your cards back because they all got mixed up. Okay, looks like they're all in the right position. Nada, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm just remembering it. Okay. Yep. You're trying to do. Hi, Shoshina. You're trying to do everything at once, Martha. We have the Ten of Wands, and you. It's like you feel like this. Interesting message. You feel like everything that you've been blessed with, you haven't earned yet. So you feel like you are your job, like you have to do more. Like there's got to be more that is demanded of you. Like it's too good to be true. Does that resonate with you? Too good to be true, right? I have to do more. I have to give more. Like there's no way that what I did was enough to get this. That's a heavy message. That's one that I resonate with. When everything happened with my car and I got this one, I had a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, like I'm about to make a financial mistake by investing in this van. And I felt like it's too good to be true. Like there's no way I deserve this. There's no way. I did deserve it. There's a lot that is not being shown to you because here's the thing. A lot of times we're used to having to bust our ass just to make it 5 feet ahead. 5 feet ahead. Busting our behinds, our booties, just to make it like there. You know what I mean? Where sometimes the divine is like, okay, you're tired, just sit down, we got it. You know what I mean? Like, we got it. We got it from here. And that's hard. That's just as hard as walking that 5 feet. You know, walking that 5 feet uphill with the fucking blizzard hitting you in your face, right? Sometimes it's even harder just to sit in that fucking tent with that fire and just wait. Wait for the divine to make clear to you what needs to be made clear. Right now is a time, like I said in the beginning of this live, right now is a time of us, all of us as a collective, finding peace in where we be and allowing the divine to do the rest, allowing our divine feminines, our intuitives, our higher selves to take it the next level. We're not talking about stagnancy, sit back and do nothing. We're talking about while you are situating or getting used to this change, these changes that are happening in your life, be good to yourself, honor yourself, do whatever, pull all the tools in your toolbox out to keep you in peace and to keep you in awareness and to keep you feeling good, because that is what's going to make it so that you can hold the space for whatever it is that your higher self or spirit is manifesting for you. Right now is not about what we're doing, it's about how we are being. Okay, so from you, Martha, you're trying to figure out all of these different ways in which, where is my life going? You want to know the answers. That's a trauma thing. Of course I have time for you, Shoshina. It's a trauma thing. Does that make sense? It's like a survival thing. So oftentimes when we've gone through a certain level of trauma, we will overcompensate by wanting to have a sense of control over the future, over our environment, over where things are going, rather than laying in faith, focusing on feeling good, allowing yourself to really settle into this change and just enjoy it for what it is. Because right now, there's a lot of feelings like where you're feeling like you're about to fail. This feeling like you're failing or that you're falling, that you don't have any control over what's happening. That before you had an exact, pinpointed manifestation of where you want to be, and now you're struggling to get there, or you're struggling to feel that that's true. Now, it's just now. You know how many dreams I had before I even started this journey, this car camping journey, where I was in the passenger seat and I was like chilling, and one dream it was Jesus in the driver's seat, and then he disappeared and it was nobody in the driver's seat, and I couldn't steer the car. And then there were other dreams where I was just in the passenger seat and there was no one here and I couldn't steer the car. You know what I mean? And that is just the spirit's way of saying, like, not all things you're going to be in control of. Oh my God, hashtag trigger July. Yes. And these triggers want us to revert back to the old ways of thinking, right? Like Jessica says, think it once, you're analyzing it. Think it twice, you're creating it, right? And it's hard to, like I said, it's exhausting being aware of your thoughts, right? And a lot of us have had to do a whole lot, but abundance is here for us. We've already manifested the abundance. Why do we feel like we have to work for something after we already got it? Where does that come from? Martha? Why do we feel like, okay, like now I got it? It's not all the work that I did to get here is like, yeah, like that's whatever. I still have to bust my ass in many ways. Like okay, so the devil likes to manipulate our insecurity as spirits in our souls by not allowing us to receive what is here for us. And yes, you do. You have to maintain the abundance. All of it, yes, it's very exhausting. It is, but it gets easier and easier and easier as you work through it, as the years go by. This is not a thing. This is not a diet. Okay, this is a lifestyle. This is like you're like I'm inviting you through the channeling that comes through me to exist on your own planet and not have to be beholden. Sorry, thank you. I got a call and it went mute. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, people? Can you hear me? Okay, good. So a lot of what it is that we do here as light workers is we're inviting you into your own conscious universe. There's a situation with my sister that just happened that really triggered me and felt like I was being pulled back into old energy, but I choose to keep going forward. Yes, but honor the fact that it triggered you. Honor the fact that you have pain there, and don't beat yourself up saying, I should be over this. Like, why is this still affecting me? Like, there's the shame thing that the devil likes to use against us about where we feel insecure within our spirits, where we feel like we need to be doing more. God never told us that we needed to be slaves. God never told us that in order to be a good person, you have to be a good person to the detriment to your own peace and your own self. God never said that. Do not put words in God's mouth. God cares about the happiness, the growth, the peace, the ability to find grace in this life where everything is upside down. And it's not easy, but it's worth it. Oh my God, Jackie, that's so good. That's so funny. Yes. Nobody warned me that after the inner child healing comes the inner teen. For me, it was the teen first. It was the teen first and then the child. Don't ask me why. And still, there's always going to be layers and things of I didn't even realize that this affected me. So, just to wrap it all together for you, Martha, your whatever it is that went on with your sister made you believe that everything that you worked for, um, there's something about your sister where it's almost like you're spinning plates, right? There's people that have success that generally stabilize it and feel good in it. There are people that will take success even if it means that they're going to be spinning plates for the rest of their lives. And for some reason, no matter what it is that your sister's doing, she is spinning plates, and you absorb something from her energy that makes you feel, Martha, that you are not doing enough or that everything is going to fall apart. It's not even your energy to begin with, it's hers. So whatever that is, this feeling of like everything could fall apart at any minute, one plate will fall and the rest will fall, that's not you, that's her. So it's whatever disagreement you had, she threw a tidal wave of energy or frequency at you that you absorbed because of whatever reason. That's something that you need to figure out. It's not to shame you. She's spinning plates. A lot of people in our lives are spinning plates. That's how they survive. Some of us are still spinning plates. You know what I mean? But there's a difference between management and spinning plates. Spinning plates has your hands full. Management is delegation. It's time management. Dearest you, even though life, this is perfect for you, Martha, even though life now seems to be moving full steam ahead, it's time to rest. Allow ideas to flow through you and take root in your heart before they reach your mind. Honor this process by becoming empty to allow for inspiration and the magic of dreaming. You might feel lazy or unproductive, but we know better. Just as sleep is a way to recharge before renewal, so are you in a time of dreaming. In this powerful process of co-creation, your soul merges with spirit in a profound way so you can receive the music directly from your source and play your part in the symphony of life. You are being invited to bear witness to the great creation and tune into what others can't hear. We have so many dreams to share with you in the sacred and invisible. Don't worry, we will wake you when it's time to return with a new dream. No need to set an alarm clock. This is Spirit's way of saying we know that you feel like you need to be doing a lot more. That's all your sister's energy. And you had to have had some of it embedded somewhere for it to match to you. But you don't have to do shit right now. You just need to relax. You need to find peace in where you are. Find peace in where you are and enjoy it and appreciate it. Stop thinking about, you listen, sometimes we want to manifest blessings, a car, a house, we get it. And it's not 2 seconds after we get that blessing that we're already dreaming of the next blessing before enjoying the one that we're living in right now. So I think I have Chanel and then Shoshina. Let me transfer this money, child, before I get charged. Martha, it is always a pleasure. Thank you for honoring me. Oh, Wandy, did you donate too? Hold up. How did I get... Hold on, guys. Hold on, family. Dealing with a technical difficulty over here. Did I miss people here? Shoshina, Vanessa. Oh, I had money in there before. Is that Miss Danny Lee Brown? Is that Miss Danny Coke Bottle Brown? Is that Miss Danny Motorcycle Brown? I need to know. Danny, every time you come up on my StreamYard, you come up as user. The only reason I know it's you is because you do the black waving hand when you say hello, and because I get your messages on my phone before they come up on the screen. But I hope you're doing well. Your hair is looking bomb. I'm missing on you, girl. How are the kids? Okay, so we're gonna do Wandy first, and then we're gonna do Chanel, and then we're gonna do Shoshina. Okay. All is well. I'm just getting my bearings here up in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure the Chewbacca's don't be coming after me and shit, like the Yetis and shit. Oh, I'm about to turn into a motherfucking Yeti, as a matter of fact. I am a Yeti. I am a Yeti. Guides, angels, ancestors, thank you. What does Wandy need to hear today? Wandy, which one did you pick? Ooh. Okay, Miss Wandy. Somebody's not honoring their feelings. The chupacabra of the mountains. Okay. I am the chupacabra of the mountains, baby. An abundance checkup is sort of like a look at where you are frequency matching abundantly. There's a lot of kinds of abundance. There's an abundance of brokenness. There's an abundance of money coming in. There's an abundance of opportunities. There's an abundance of ideas. This is sort of a pulse to tell you where you are and to help you understand what's good. What's good in the hood for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you at? Where's your frequency when it comes to abundance? You know what I mean? Thank you, Spirit. Please connect into Wandy's guides, angels, and ancestors. Allow them to dictate the messages. Wandy, the first message I got for you is that it's really hard for you, because of everything that you're juggling, to fully be honest about what you're feeling. It feels like you being honest about what you're feeling is inconvenient to others. And Spirit is saying this is a part of the pattern that is coming to an end. You're relearning how to communicate your emotions in a way that is healthy for you. It's like you always think about everybody else first before you. This is a deep-rooted thing. We talked about this before. That is also a message for you, right? And this process is coming to an end. You're going through a transformation, and it's not pretty for other people. I've been telling you this for a while. This energy of you being no nonsense, being very different about the way you approach things, and how other people are going to make you the bad guy for it. And in all honesty, yes. And in all honesty, there's a sourness that I'm feeling within you of like, you love being the one everybody can rely on. And when you take that away from people, you feel like you're robbing yourself of love. And that's not the case. You're removing any conditional love or any kind of invisible contracts that are making people feel like them being associated with you means that they benefit in X amount of ways, right? You're removing that contract and you're saying, if you're going to come to the fucking table and eat with me, then know that we're all bringing something to the table. And know that, and it's not that you can't give when you feel like the desire to give, but when all of your relationships are centered around you taking care of others, then where are your needs being taken into consideration? And that's where you're stepping in to take care of that. You're stepping in to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean? This is a common message that comes across for you, but it's a specific kind of message. Thank you, Danny, darling. Okay, loves, I don't think I'm going to be receiving any more readings. So if anybody asks and I don't see, let them know. Andy is tapped out. Andy is tapped out. Andy is not doing any more readings for the day. Oh man, then Kristen came in here. Now Kristen's gonna make me wonder, like, darling, maybe I'm gonna have to eat my words, darling. I gotta move this money around before I start getting charged for shit. Patricia, darling. Well, of course I'm British, darling. I'm so glad you're in here, baby girl. Patricia's my bestest friend, darling, from Brooklyn, and she's over there. She was just in Thailand, darling, and she was rubbing elbows with all the rich people in Thailand, darling, and swimming with the fish, darling. There's a specific reason that this is coming up, Wandy, and I'm going to figure out what that is. But there's a specific reason this is coming up. It's a specific situation that is unfolding that is asking you to almost develop a level of awareness before stepping in, if that makes sense. There's somebody in your life, I don't know what this is, but there's somebody in your life that is very set. They're like, okay, this is our problem and this is the solution. Ain't no other solutions. And you're like, well, I could think of like 20 different types of solutions, but you want to make the solution that you want to make. I don't know. This is very specific. But Wandy, they're saying there's somebody in your life that is trying to basically impose that there's only one way to go about something, and you're over here thinking no, but you're trying to go along, like go with the flow to make everybody happy, and it's like, no, there's a lot of different things we can try that we haven't tried yet. And now you want to act like we've exhausted all resources, and we haven't. So why don't you sit your ass down and let's come up with a different game plan. If that doesn't work, we'll come up with another one. And if that one doesn't work, we'll come up with another one. But I'm not about to sit here and be manipulated into doing things your way because you're too lazy to try other things. No. This has to do with co-parenting. This may have already happened. You may have already settled into a way. And Spirit is saying, like, there's a lot of other things to try. And it's not to put a pressure on you, but it's almost to be like, you know, you can bring peace into your life and into, honestly, this other person's life if they're willing to just try. Like, why don't we try it? What do you mean, Patricia? What's coming up? What's coming up with 5 Ps? You're coming up. You're coming up to the mountain. The moon. There's a lot when it comes to your karmic ties with people, and what's happening right now, just another way of looking at it, is you're releasing anything that doesn't serve you. You're deprogramming so that you could be in the strength of who you are, because there's a lot of ways that you are going to be showing up in a very powerful way in other people's lives. I'm not saying that you're going to be doing shit for them. What I'm saying is, like, your response to the way, like, your interaction, the element that is you, the wild card that is you, is going to bring something new, more powerful, more impactful, that is going to make people very uncomfortable, and it's going to make you very uncomfortable at first, because you're used to being the soother, the nurturer. Well, sometimes the dragon's got to come out, and when that dragon comes out, you're going to get the heat. How about that? And I've been telling you this message for a long time, and it's not like I feel like I have to repeat myself because you're not listening. This is Spirit delivering this message to kind of reaffirm. Sometimes we need to hear something more than once so that we can continue to ground that in. You know what I mean? But for you, Wandy, it's not about you're not doing things right. It's about, we're letting you know, okay? It's almost like you're about to be an actress in a show, right? I used to do theater a lot. 20 minutes to curtain, 10 minutes to curtain, 5 minutes to curtain, 2 minutes to curtain, 1 minute to curtain. That's the stage manager letting you know how much time is left before the curtain opens and the show begins. This is Spirit saying, you got a few minutes before this curtain opens and you're about to be the dragon. Oh, love it. And you know, Spirit is telling me you know what it's revolving around. You know what it's revolving around. And really take what resonates. This is your life. Don't break your head trying to understand how things work. If you don't understand it initially, or you don't fully get where it's coming in, you're not meant to yet. Because right now you don't feel a sense of fire or passion or even like the motivation to be argumentative or confrontational. And Spirit is saying, like, don't worry, it's gonna come. And it's gonna be all you, boo. It's not gonna be you being like, give me the strength. It's gonna be like you being like, Spirit, hold me back because I'm gonna beat this bitch up. You know what I mean? And it's not negative. It's not like a negative force of unconscious. It's like a righteous in your belly fire. Like, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna, you know. People don't be getting it. Y'all be thinking. Whew. I have a couple of paid readings to do, Patricia, but let's catch up soon. I miss you, darling. And you're okay with it because you're like, I have the awareness. As long as I know, as long as I'm cool with myself, they can believe whatever they want to believe. But there comes a time when you're like, no, I got too much love for you to let you sit in that bullshit ass place. We're not doing that. I just heard Spirit say, you're going to have to change your name. You're not wandering no more. You know exactly where you're going. You know exactly what you're doing. It's a joke. You're not actually going to change your name, but you know what I mean. I need to take a second for that. Dearest you, a rigid tree branch breaks under strong winds, yet flexible seaweed survives powerful ocean swells. Right now, we gently remind you that being flexible is a good choice when faced with life's challenges. Surrender your fixed ideas to Spirit, who knows what is your highest good and can deliver to you what you need in appropriate form. In this moment, rather than fighting or being too sure of your way working out, be a little looser and allow for another outcome. Compromise can be the best way forward if you are to learn new ways of doing and seeing. Stay aware, curious, and teachable. You're always teachable, Wandi. Take life on life's terms. Your purpose may push you in a direction not on your map. Let it be. Be so flexible that no storms can uproot you. In the end, you will still be rooted in the world in abundance, and you will indeed experience the beauty that is yours. We love you so much. I don't know how you raise children on a teacher's salary. I don't know how you do it. And I know you're not doing it alone, but dream bigger, think bigger. It's going to be bigger. And what is going to allow it to be bigger is you letting go of what people think about you. And oh, I'm sure, Wanda, I am sure, and you've been doing this for a minute, so all of those raises, they should have added up by now. You know what I mean? That's not even limited. Maybe you're about to be a fucking Real Housewife of New York. Who knows? You're about to try something that blows up and you're like, boom, you're rich, right? And I'm not trying to set an unrealistic expectation in your mind. What I'm trying to say is anything is possible. So think, you may have ideas for a book or for a children's book or for this or for that. And it's going to take a level of risk. That's another thing. You know what I mean? And I'm not seeing this coming in the near future. Right now is a lot of stabilizing who you are and what you've done. Sugar baby. Yeah, why are we obsessed with sugar daddies? Why can't they be younger? Like, why can't I find like a 25-year-old? I'm 29, but why can't I find a 25-year-old who's rich who just wants to spoil me? Why he gotta be a daddy? And I don't need a sugar daddy or a sugar baby because I got sugar mamas all up in here. And I'm just joking. But let's go ahead and get going. So next I said it was Chanel. Girl, you should have stayed at the beach. You would have found you one. All right. Chanel. I love you too, Wandi. Guides, angels, ancestors, Chanel. What does Chanel need to hear today? We are so very blessed and thankful for this opportunity to connect. Thank you. Oh, Kristen. Kristen, just wait till I go live. I'll go live again tomorrow or something. I'm already at, we're already past an hour, and I'm not trying to burn myself out these days. I'm a chicharron. No, you're not. You're a chicharrona. I'm sorry, Kristen. I don't want you to feel left out. I'm just tired. I'm getting there. I worked an overnight last night too. Hanged man. So the same kind of situation for you, Chanel. Chanel, right now you're being asked to deal with all of the shame. This has been a thing for you for a long time, and you've had a lot of it. I'm not trying to say that you have more than others, but I will say when it comes to the trauma and the healing, you have a lot on your plate. You have a whole motherfucking Thanksgiving meal. Oh, gotcha. Listen, do you, boo, Kristen? Listen, you guys are all beautiful women. If you wanted it, all you have to do is snap your fingers and get it. But if you don't feel like you deserve it, then you're not a vibrational match for it. Anyway. You have a whole Thanksgiving dinner of healing, and you've done a lot of it. Hi, Erica. You've done a lot of healing, Chanel. You have. I'm not gonna front on that, but right now is not a time of like right now you're trying to figure out like where's my life going. Spirit is saying have faith. Wherever it is that you doubt, just celebrate. Celebrate that things are different now. Celebrate that you're in a different environment. Celebrate that you're more in control of your environment. celebrate that you have freedom with you and your family and your kids in a new way. You know what I mean? And just allow yourself to be at peace and gratitude for everything that is, because right now you're kind of freaking out over how things are going to transition. Okay, you have a earned success. This is earned success, right? Meaning you've done a lot of work. Now reap the benefits. This goes back to the message again. A lot of times we bust our fucking asses to get something, and then when we get it, we still don't feel deserving of it. That's a deep-rooted thing. That's a self-worth thing. I'm gonna have to be a little quicker with these messages because we still have a few to do. I think I still have Shoshina, and I think I still have Danny. Oh, Erica, I'm gonna have to send that back, love, unless you want to wait till tomorrow, because I have 2 more to do after this. So I would love to read you, but it's not gonna happen today. So I have the app open right now. I can send you back that 10, or you can credit it towards next time. Your choice, love. You're coming back to a lot of things, but when it comes to love and it comes to money, you feel like you're in a Chanel, you feel like you're in a funk. You feel like you're not, for some reason, you can't make it happen. And Spirit is saying, because we need you to accept where you are. We need you to accept, find gratitude, and find enjoyment. It's easier said than done, but find grace in what you have now. Because that's the only real way that you're going to really make room and allow, just release, and be able to allow what's going to come in, because there's a major blessing coming in that is going to set you up to find the stability you need in your life. I've been telling you this for a long time, but it's dependent on you, all you. And stop trying to find love. Stop trying to find another man to complete you or to make you feel okay. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen now. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in 10 years. You're just going to wind up wasting your time on relationships that are below your threshold of what you deserve, because that's what feels safer. The devil we know is being fucking evicted. Bye. We settle so much. You're so fearful because you're so used to things going sideways for you. But that was just your path. That was the path you chose for learning. You are a very strong old spirit who chose to go through a lot of hard shit for the sake of transformation of yourself and your bloodline. But you're over here still judging yourself for it. You're over here still judging yourself for all the things you coulda, shoulda, woulda did. And then you're still not making all the best choices now that then enforce your judgment of yourself. And that's not saying that you're making all bad decisions. I'm saying that there's certain things that you're doing that make you doubt your worthiness. Where you settle and allow yourself to be somebody's sex toy. I don't know who this is. I'm not trying to put your business out there like that. There's nothing wrong with sex. But when you allow yourself to, when you're hurt and you're traumatized and you're allowing yourself to be someone's toy or someone's play, you know what I mean? And you're lying to yourself about how much you get out of it versus how much they get out of it. And it all comes back to self-worth. For you right now, it's not about making big moves. And this is a message for so many people. This is about you finding peace in where you are. Okay? Because that's what's going to make room for everything else to come along. And not feeling tired and weak and settle for less than what you deserve. Right? Letting that one person wear you down so much that you just let them back into your life when you know that they weren't good for you. You're working hard though. They want to say that, like you're doing great. Dearest you, there is only one you, and you have a unique path and special purpose. You're supposed to have specific experiences in this world to meet certain people. But then, Erica, you never said whether or not you wanted me to send that money back. Don't compare yourself to others. It's easy to think a person is happier just because their outside looks good according to society's standards. But you can't know anyone's internal experience. Compare yourself only to your past self. See how far you've come. See how far you've come. You're not supposed to leave where you are. That's not the point. The point is for you to trust, have faith that things are going to fall into place, and just not put yourself in a position where you're going to lose that blessing because you are afraid and you don't have faith and you don't believe that you're worthy enough. You don't believe that God or the universe could come through for you in this way. Stay focused on what inspires you. That is how you get successful and find happiness. Stay focused on what inspires you. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Mommy and me can be mommy by herself, and you could be mommy by yourself. Okay? Okay, Erica, I'm sending it back. Thank you, Shoshina. God bless you, Chanel. So next is Shoshina. Shoshina, you said you wanted to do a crossroads. I should be on tomorrow around the same time, maybe a little later. So whatever time it is where you are. Okay. Guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, beings of love and light. Thank you. Please connect into Shoshina's guides, angels, and ancestors. She is considering 2 paths. Let us see what each path can bring. Let us do 3 cards for each path. Past. Not past, present, future. Option A. Okay, so option A has to do with continuing something, right? And what I'm getting for you is that while you are coming at this with your clear mind and your clear truth, wanting to come in and work something through, this is option A. The other person is meeting you with opposition. They're meeting you with, I am ready to go. I'm tired. I got too much. Somebody's burnt out and they've worn themselves down. And they want to put you in a position where you're burnt out too, and you're tired and you don't want to deliver your truth. So what else here? It's not that one path is better or worse than the other. They both have their own lessons, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. There's a way for you to get where you want to go, both paths. You know what I mean? But one is harder than the other. The one that involves staying, I think. Yeah, staying. It makes it hard for you when it comes to your spiritual growth. But when it comes to your empowerment, when it comes to your structure, your finances, things like that, it's going to give you a different kind of power. Now, the other option, it's just going to make it very hard for you to be clear about what's happening spiritually, because this person is so unconscious, and even sleeping next to somebody who's unconscious or chooses to do the same things over and over again, you absorb that energy and they feed on your energy when you sleep. It's a whole thing, right? And it's not to say that you can't work through those things. You can, but it just feels like you're tired of it, right? But this person does give you a sense of comfort financially, right? Now, I hope this makes sense. Now, with the other option, Spirit, Guides, Angels, Ancestors, thank you. With the other option, you finally begin to feel like a new era, where you kind of feel like you've been playing the same DVD of your life over and over and over again. It's a new era where you get to feel different. Bye, Wandy. Yes, we're gonna figure out when we're gonna get together. It feels new, right? Princess of Cups, like this is the spiritual growth, right? The spiritual growth, the spiritual, like, oh my, like, you know that feeling of like my life has purpose. Yeah, but you also blame your husband a lot. Your husband is partially the issue when it comes to a lot of the present energy, but you also have to take accountability for your part too. You chose this the same way he chose this. It takes two to tango. So trying to shift all of the responsibility and blame onto him is only going to rob you of growth. Ooh. Ooh. I do feel like this other path, there's something about your husband that does ground you. So there's something about you stepping away from him that actually causes you to go through a period of going a little crazy. And what I mean by that, hi Danny, what I mean by that is you, for example, you have this dream and it's about him, and then you're like, oh my God, I know what it means, and it means this and it means that. And Spirit is like, no, like you're treating him as if he has no hope in life. You have to trust that the divine has a plan for him too. And you've been keeping him from that because you've been enjoying the comforts that he brings into your life. So therefore, you enable him to stay in a place that he is comfortable. And although sometimes you fight him, sometimes you know, no, Danny, I'm closed for today. I have one more reading after this and I'm done. You enable him in some ways. You could always donate, and I'm going to go live tomorrow if you want to donate forward for tomorrow, or you can wait till tomorrow. So they're helping you understand that when he's gone, you are going to also experience the loss. You're going to experience the pain, but you're also going to experience... they're telling me this is what your crossroads is about. And you're also going to experience what it feels like to not have that grounding. Okay, Danny, sounds good, love. But you're going to learn how to live without him. That's the good part. The bad part about it is you are going to be struggling financially for a little bit. So those are your crossroads. I recommend that you go back and you re-listen because there's pros and cons to both sides. Okay, and both sides are going to require a great deal of work. And not necessarily like grueling like work. I'm just talking about like putting yourself to work. Right? I know we have to do these things. Let's set it up. Let's do this. Counseling or whatever. I know I want to be on my own. I have to figure this out. I have to figure that out. I have to figure that out. Right? Whatever it is that you choose, just have a plan and just be aware of what you might face. You don't have to completely understand what's coming around the corner, but you can be as prepared as possible. And that's what's going to give you the leg up. Regardless, everything that's happening, whatever choice you choose, it's going to lead you towards your highest potential. But there's also an opportunity for you to want to put your head in the sand and pretend you don't see things. God bless you, Shoshana. I wish you the best of luck with that. I get that too. Me get it, darling. Me get it. What in the world? I'm glad, Shoshana. Danny Brown, last but not least, my love. Last but definitely not least. How are you doing on the cigarettes? I hope I'm not tempting you. Because I know you, last time we talked, you quit. Okay. Spirit, please clear the previous energies of the last few readings. Thank you. Shoshina, it's a pleasure to have you, love. It's a pleasure to have you with us. We honor your journey. Hold up. Hold on. What's happening here? No. I'm so confused. What's happening here? Hold on, guys. I have to make sure. Where did that money go? I'm just going to go ahead and get into your reading and I'll figure it out after. Okay, whatever. Let's go ahead and get into it for you, Danny. Guides, angels, ancestors, thank you so much. What is Danny currently going through? Allow us to connect to her guides, angels, and ancestors. The blood of her blood, the bone of her bone. Of God's loving light. Allow them to come through. Zadel is walking with her and they deserve to be heard. What does Danny need to hear today? Where is Danny at? Danny, you are breaking free. The first card that comes out is the devil in the reverse. That's what we like to see. You're no longer allowing yourself to be privy to the traps of others. I also feel like you are feeling like a little bit lost in reference to your direction, a little unsure. I also feel like you have a lot of suitors banging on your doghouse door and you're not handling it the same way you did before. You're doing it in a way that saves you peace. I definitely feel like there's also money coming in. There's some kind of answer here because you're being, there's some kind of like, you're realizing the reward process, and it's not because they're rewarding you for being good. They're rewarding you because they're like, or you're being rewarded in general. You're rewarding yourself, to be honest, because you're not giving your energy away in the same way. So therefore, there's other spaces in which things can come in, and you're realizing, oh, that's why I should operate this way. That's why I shouldn't give my shit away like that. That's why I shouldn't be dealing with this person's stupidity or whatever. Nonsense. Like, this is why I'm better than this. Because I definitely feel like you got a lot of F-boys circling you like tiger sharks in the middle of the ocean. But you're on your business bitch entrepreneurial shit right now, and you're not playing games. And you have life to do, you have goals, you have things, and to be honest, you're tired. You're like, I'd rather be alone than deal with you. We have the 8 of Discs, Prudence. We also have the 5 of Cups in the reverse, right? You're finally bringing a level of pleasure back into your life. Hi, Jessica. But I will say that not everything is clear to you. I feel like the same message applies to you, where you feel like you need to be doing a whole bunch of shit. And Spirit is saying right now, we need you to just focus on your peace, on your being, on your presence, your acceptance of where you are, rather than being in rejection of where you are because it's not reflecting where you think you should be, right? You've already graduated a lot of things here when it comes to your connection to others and your allowance of others to steal your energy and to deplete you. You're no longer operating in that way. But you aren't seeing everything clearly. So it's for you to make a decision now, it's going to rob you of a potential blessing. My boo Jessica's up in the house. My second half on this page, Violet Pathways. Yeah, I definitely feel like the biggest struggle for you right now is the aloneness, is the isolation, but it's actually what's going to be the biggest thing that's going to push you forward. Everything that I was telling you months ago or a month ago about, the minute that you start to let go and allow yourself to receive these lessons, everything's going to start to fall into place very quickly. That's what this time is, but it's not going to be comfortable at first. That's the point. The point is, where are you uncomfortable being present and content in your life? Where is it that you struggle with that? Because wherever it is that you struggle with that is wherever you're blocking this new blessing from coming in. Because you're fighting where you are now. Slowly and surely you become more and more at peace with what your situation is, and you're not settling for less than what you deserve because you're understimulated or because you have desires that are being unmet, and then you're over here meeting everybody else's desires and they're not even scratching the itch you need. You know what I mean? So there's a whole new approach to things that is showing you a better result, and therefore it's going to kind of be like wind beneath your wings to push you forward, to inspire you to continue moving forward. How about that? Dear you, there is always more than one side to an argument, 2 sides, if not more, to every story, and hundreds of ways to be right, be different, be at odds, and so on. Today, we suggest that instead of looking for differences, you find a meeting place of agreement and approach this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand how another person thinks or how an alternate plan might be laid. Stay out of judgment too. Observe, discern, but accept that others have different stories, experiences, and journeys, and some people might refuse to remain open to another's point of view. No matter what, you've been presented with the great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things once common ground is reached. You're attracting people and situations that enrich your life, that bring wonderful things to learn. Spirit is saying that there's something maybe with your son or somebody very close to you, where you might be at odds, or it might be like a small disagreement, and Spirit is saying that there's something you could learn from them. There's something you could learn from their perspective and the way that they see the world, the way that they see things. But that's the message for you, darling. God bless. And on that note, I am going to get me some food. I'm hungry. I love you guys. God bless. And I'll see you guys soon. I leave you in your divine light of the divine creator.